The Late Night Legends podcast is meant for an adult audience only. It may contain sexually oriented content. Content may not be suitable for sensitive listeners. Please be aware of your surroundings. Listener discretion is advised. Watch out.
I should have known I'd leave alone. Just goes to show that the blood you bleed is just the blood you owe. We were a pair, but I saw you then. Too much to bear. You were my life, but life is far away from fair. Was I stupid to love you? Was I reckless to help? Was it obvious to everybody else that I fallen for a lie? You were never on my side. Fool me once, fool me twice. Are you dead, the paradise? Now you never see me cry. There's just no time to die.
Hey everybody. Welcome to Late Night Legends. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight we have our murder mystery podcast. So you can join in, follow along with us, help us solve clues, and see if you can guess who did it in the end. Before we get into that, who has announcements? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm Kay. I'm here with Charlie, James, Joan, Shayna, and Frank. And Frank is joining us newlywed. Yay! Yay!
Thank you.
Okay, now do we have any announcements?
Also, Charlie brought a friend today. Charlie, introduce your friend.
Yes.
This is Tanji. He lives with me. He's a little monster, so I can't really stop him
Tanji, do
for what
you
he's gonna
pay
do.
rent?
So.
For those listening after the fact with no video, it's a kitty cat.
Yeah.
It's a cat.
It's just a random
He's very
person. He
adorable
brought
cat.
it to the room.
It's just
Yeah,
a
you
random-
get in here.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens out there.
Ooh.
Definitely.
That is a different murder
COVID
mystery, but
throwback.
thank you.
That is a
murder
COVID
mystery,
throwback.
actually.
Listen, I know many a murder mystery. I'm a bit of a true crime obsessed person. Do you guys ever do hunt a killers? They're the best. They're fun.
No, but I have done a murder
This
mystery
episode is
party
not-
before.
There you
Not
go.
sponsored. No. Do they?
This episode
Okay.
is not sponsored by Hunt a Killer, though they should sponsor us.
That'd be cool.
If anyone works at Hunt a Killer, hey.
All right. I guess I'll do a couple of announcements. Tonight, Jessie
Yes.
has the night off. She's doing some stuff. We're procuring a very nice, awesome guest for the summer. And by awesome guest, I'll let Jessie announce that guest. I think that's probably for the best. But we're currently in talks with that particular guest. Next week, we're going to have the Batman and Von Meter. And then the week after that is Memorial Day. And we're all taking the night off for Memorial Day. And then the Monday after that, which is June 3rd, we're going to be doing a show on the clown sightings that you may or may not have had heard about throughout the world, actually. I don't want to say just the United States, because they were like in the UK too. It was a big deal. So if you like clowns, it's a good show to tune in. And then if you don't like clowns, definitely don't join us for that night, because I feel like that is one subject where people like just don't like seeing clown faces. Like Kim, my wife, like she will not be part of that show, will not watch it. If there's a clown on my screen and she walks by, she will not like it. So just want to give that little bit of a warning there for anyone that might want to watch that show or might not. So That's
I
it.
feel like we needed a little bell every time he says my wife. Like a little like
Aw.
My
chime.
wife.
We'll do a counter.
It's so cute Frank got
All right.
married.
Thank-
Hold on. No, because I'm sure people actually care and want to know. It was really lovely, Frank. I think
Aw.
we had a really good time.
I
I'm so
cried for about
glad.
3 seconds in the back.
Oh my God, Frank crying at the altar.
Oh,
We all clocked that.
Aw.
We all clocked it. It was so
So
sweet.
cute.
He was like teary-eyed the entire ceremony. It was
Aw.
so sweet. But he looked handsome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, everybody looked good. Everybody looked
Mhm.
so good.
We
I
brought
really
it.
wanted to
We
spend
brought
more
it.
time with you guys and everybody, but it was
It's
not.
a wedding.
It literally was not in the cards.
It's a wedding.
Yeah, it was a wedding. I didn't. It was, everybody is so right when they say that like time flies. Time flew by so damn quick, and I just wanted to spend time and hang out with literally everyone, and I just didn't have time. But I will say, I want to give some credit really quick. I'm gonna do this tomorrow also, but I just want to shout out Joan for tearing up that damn dance floor.
Dance floor.
Yeah,
Oh my
Joan-
God.
James,
her and
did you see this
Justin
girl
dance?
Killed it. Killed it.
Thanks.
Fucking Joan flew in from New Jersey to show me up at my own wedding, and then flew
And she
right
did.
back.
It did
She
not
right-
feel right
100% did. Well,
Yep.
you showed up. You showed up and you got down.
I did. That's I told you. we dance.
People showed
we
up for
are-
different reasons.
Yeah.
We had Joan do that. Then I had Lord Cronus show up, take a bunch of selfies with my mom and my wife, and then text them to me. And then he went back to fucking Alabama.
So many
I'm gonna
pictures.
text- I'll cut
Him
that
and
out
your
and post.
mom.
He-
And I don't
he
think
took
they talk
selfies
to
with my
each
mom.
other.
He
No.
had such a good time.
Like,
He's just having a good time.
Lord Cordes had the best time out of all of us. And like we were
Yeah.
all having fun.
He
And
did.
He had a really good
I
time.
encouraged that air horn. I was encouraging it hard.
Oh, you
Wah,
guys.
wah, wah, wah.
Look at this. Text message. Text message. I don't know if you can see it.
It's him and your mom.
Really?
We'll post
No,
it to the
that's-
Instagram.
Yeah.
That's Kim.
Oh, it's Kim.
That's my wife. It's kind
And-
of hard to see. So he sent me that, and then let me just scroll on over here.
So we can add these to the Instagram, right?
We can.
This is
Good.
it's hard to see, but this is him kissing my mom.
On the
He's-
cheek.
Oh,
You need to
yeah.
clarify. We can't see the
There it
photo.
is.
I'll somehow add it in post. But he kissed my mom,
my
tried to
God.
open mouth kiss my mom, and then text it to me. So that was great.
Oh
That was-
my God.
And like they don't know
Oh
each
my
other
gosh.
at all. This is
No.
great.
Now
It was a
they
good
do.
time.
I had a whole conversation with Frank's mom before the wedding, and I love her.
Yeah. No, my mom is like, "Who's that one girl? She's so sweet and nice. She was just trying to help us out with everything." I'm like, "Oh, it's Sheena."
When we walked up, your mom was like, wedding's off. They decided to cancel it. She's like waiting in the thing.
It sounds like her. Alrighty.
Hold on.
Sounds like. Oh no. We'll unpack that later. That will be a private chat we all have together.
We'll as there was an after party after my wedding that I did not attend, we'll have a private after podcast chat tonight to talk about things. Alrighty.
Yes.
I have this amazing packet that I probably shouldn't show on camera because it has my address. It just listen.
No,
Kimberly
also,
has
you're
faith.
showing the return
Showing
address.
mine.
Oh,
Someone
shit.
else's address.
Kimberly, I'll cover that too. But Kimberly has such faith; she only wrote Frank on the envelope.
Everybody got just their first name, and the person at UPS was like,
Oh,
"Do you
bet.
want something other than Frank?" And I was like, "No."
No, there's no other Franks here.
There's another
trust
Frank in
me.
this building that has so many people.
Yeah, like, I was very confused when I got a notification on my phone that said, "Oh, you have a package," because we have an Amazon locker thing. It's like, "Oh, you have a package." I was like, I didn't order anything. What is happening? So I left it in there for 2 days before I actually went to go get it.
I opened the FedEx envelope, but I didn't open anything else. I didn't know that there's a little
Yeah,
journal in here.
Well, notebook.
There's rules that you were supposed to read, Frank.
it's okay.
Yeah, the big thing that says read
Read
first.
first.
We have already went over this how many times? I don't know how to read.
That's true. That is true.
Fair.
James knows.
Okay, so
Okay.
everybody has their packets that got shipped to them, Inside your package should be a little notebook, a dinner menu, and your individualized clue. So, Frank, if you haven't taken a look at the dinner menu, go ahead and take a look at that. Okay.
I'm looking right now. I'm looking at the rules. It just wants me to pick something
Yep.
from the dinner menu. So I'm gonna.
No, but don't pick yet.
Yes,
don't
Lord
pick yet.
Cronus, we were
We're
talking.
I'm not
not
gonna tell you
opening
what
it
I'm doing. I'm just looking at it.
So at the very end, we'll go ahead and open up those other packets, and it has all of the clues that we'll go over. So if somebody else has a clue, you will get a chance to look at it at the end when we're trying to decide for sure who is the murderer. So let's get into it. The Late Night Legends podcast has long been discussing a team meeting. Since the team is spread throughout the United States, we decided to all fly to the Denver International Airport in Colorado. The airport is a hub of conspiracy theories due to its extensive project timeline and massive budget changes. Located at the airport are 3 pieces of artwork. 2 paintings depicting the end of the world, kind of weird stuff, and a horse statue nicknamed Lucifer. So if anybody wants to go ahead and maybe add a little bit more information for those who have not heard of that. Does anybody want to talk about it a little bit?
Well,
Really, I know nothing about this. I know of it. I know nothing though.
I kind of know a little bit about Lucifer, a little bit.
I mean,
I
great
know
name.
the eyes glow, like, right? They
The
line
eyes
up.
glow red. The reason it is thought to be demonic is because during the creation of Lucifer, the artist was sculpting, and I believe the head fell off and hit one of the major tendons in his leg and killed him.
Whoa.
There are also gargoyles throughout the international terminal, which is the same one that has the paintings, and the gargoyles are in little suitcases. They're real cute. It is thought that the New World Order is there because there's a plaque that says New World. It's also next to another little plaque that says AG, and people think those are connected. AG is also the chemical, like, periodic table for gold, and as you know, Colorado had a gold rush. Another argument is that during the building of the Denver airport, there was already an airport, so they built another one, and it said there'd be bunkers underneath that stretch out 4 times the size of Manhattan. It is also said that the terminals are shaped in a swastika shape, but if you're asking me personally, I think that's just so the planes don't hit each other.
We got a couple of comments really quick. We got Rev Nelly saying, my mother's face was awkward when I showed it on the camera. We got Lord Cronus saying, hello, heard y'all are talking about me, and then he said nothing else after that. And we said...
I was trying to respond to him while it was happening, but
Rev Nelly also then said, yeah, Frank said the picture with you and his mom was hot, which I didn't say that was a hot picture. Why would I say a picture of my mom was a hot? And then we've got Rockin' Snail saying that he calls the horse Bluey, or he did earlier.
Yeah, he
Oh, Bluey. No, that one. Just
And
me.
I was like, yeah, Lucifer. And Justin was like, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's the wrong thing. You said the wrong thing.
Okay, so I've got a little bit of reading to set up the story, and then we'll start getting interactive. Okay. The team decides on a weekend trip and books flights to arrive on Friday, May 3rd, 2024. Charlie and Kimberly arrive first, locate a central coffee stand as planned, and wait for the rest of the group. Frank, Joan, Shayna, James, and Jesse filter in as their flights arrive. Once the entire group has gotten their coffees, trip itineraries, and said hello, they head off towards baggage claim to view the 2 murals. As they get closer to baggage claim, they notice an increase in construction traffic, and to their dismay, the area where the murals should be is taped off, and the murals themselves are absent. So they're actually in storage right now, because that part of the airport is under construction. So nobody checked that.
Good to know.
And
I'm looking at pictures now.
Jesse asks if anyone in the group bothered to Google the art before the trip was planned, and is met with silence.
Oh, good old Jesse. That's
I
true.
mean,
Joan pulls out
facts.
her phone and pulls up the airport's website confirming that the art has been placed into storage during construction. There is no estimate for when the art will be restored. Frustrated murmurs filter through the group, and Frank volunteers to speak with customer service to see if anything can be done. The group catches up for a while before Frank returns. Using a small amount of mostly legal bribery, he was able to arrange for a private tour the following day at 3 p.m. The group heads towards the exit. Frank and Charlie pull out their phones and order 2 Ubers for the group. They split up and head towards their hotel. When they arrive, Frank heads up to the desk and checks into the block of rooms reserved under his name. He hands out room keys and tells everyone to meet back in the lobby in 20 minutes. Once assembled, Frank and Charlie again order Ubers, and the group heads off towards 6 Capital Brewing for dinner. So,
How are we paying for all these hotels?
Are we doing a
there-
split-wise? I
is
feel like
there
we
a
should do a
s-
split-wise for this trip.
Is there a stipend, a travel stipend? Like,
Really quick, we got Jesse chiming in on the YouTube saying, "Wait, I did what?" Jesse, you asked us if we looked up the art at the Colorado airport prior, and none of us did. I didn't even.
To which, unlike most of us, we
Right.
didn't for some reason.
I'm just here
Literally
for the
pulled it
central
up,
coffee
like-
stand.
Yeah, my type A travel anxiety would never. I would
Right.
know.
Yeah, same.
all right.
But
Everybody,
yeah, okay. So we pull up to
everybody
the
has their
brew.
dinner menus. So at this time, go ahead and take a look and figure out what you would like to order for dinner. This is a real.
Okay.
is
Go ahead.
anyone? No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, I was gonna get. I was gonna
No,
get
go for
going.
it.
Yeah, we're
My-
getting
into it.
character. This
My
is like
D
the
and
most
D
Get
brain
into
is
it.
like, we're here. Okay, hold on. Is anyone gonna split? Because they do have meat by the pound here. Like, will anyone split like half a pound of pulled pork?
Yeah, let's just get some
I will
meat.
Because
split
like
it.
I'm
I'll
not
split
gonna
half a
like
pound
just
of pulled
split.
pork.
Okay,
Yeah,
we
we'll
can do
split
that.
it.
Actually, no, not. Let's get the full pound. Let's just get the full pound. But
I
you,
think-
but there's brisket too, because like there's brisket, pulled
I
pork.
do love some brisket. It's
Do
interesting.
we want to get a
oh,
brisket for the table?
Like we could get a brisket for the
Brisket for the
table.
table?
Brisket for the table, yeah.
I was thinking some smoked
That's
wings
great.
too. Those look really good.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
want
I
to
see
get-
your wings.
Okay.
Nachos.
I thought
No?
about that one.
I mean,
I-
yeah. We
okay,
could do,
the
we
wings
could do
have it.
brisket,
The
we
wing-
could do
the-
brisket nachos.
Barbecutery board.
Ooh, brisket
I'm gonna
nachos.
get that.
It sounds
Barbecue.
like we're doing
Barbecutery
tapas,
board?
and I'm down for that. But also hush puppies.
But it's like barbecue tapas. Like,
Yeah,
how good?
It's barbecue.
Joe, let's talk.
charcuterie.
Let's talk a barbecue tapas. Bart, we got this.
Let's go. We'll go. We've
Yep.
got this.
Okay,
We'll find a
Side
place in
hustle
Brooklyn. It'll
later
be great.
on.
I'm
I
gonna
know
get
about-
order the fried green tomatoes too.
Mm,
Is that what
okay.
you're getting
Chipotle
for
lime
you?
crema- Ooh, that's good.
well, I
No,
just-
it's for the
it's-
table. We're
it's an
doing
appy.
tapas.
Oh,
We're
we're doing top.
we're
Okay,
sharing.
I'm gonna order the kids
I was
menu
just
dino
gonna
nuggets
say
for
that.
tapas.
Does anybody want to split some dino nuggets?
I got you, Kay. We're gonna split
Perfect.
some dino nuggets.
The only thing I'm a little
As long as
upset
there's
about is
ketchup.
like this is a brewing company, and I don't see what beers they have on tap.
Oh, there's a
so-
little
There
There's
QR
a
code.
QR code.
That's
I've
a
already scanned it.
cocktail menu.
There's beer on there.
I'm sure there's
You
a
can
There's
go
a
to
lot
their
of beer.
website.
The
Somebody
thing.
can pull up their
Okay.
website. 6 Capital Brewing.
I'm doing it.
Are the cocktails good? Are the like what do we got in the cocktails?
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure it out.
This is
Do you like how this
honestly
is the
what it
most
would be like
serious?
if
We're just
we.
going to take the whole thing. It's just
Would you
ordering-
realize that this
Are we
is
getting a
exactly
picture?
what we would be like? Ooh,
If they do a
pictures.
picture,
Kolsch
they do
blonde.
pictures.
if they do pictures,
Ooh,
then we gotta
let
do
the
a picture.
botting to the floor pub ale. Now we're
Okay, hold on,
talking.
but do they have a sour? Because I love a sour.
Oh, you would love a sour.
I want-
You know
I
what?
want
It's
the
better than
Mexican
loving an
lager.
IPA
That's
like
my
every other
favorite.
white boy with tattoos.
That's true. That is true.
Malty and roasty. Brewmasters, but I don't see any sour. Oh, here we go. Tropical sour rose or
That sounds
Colorado
good.
peach.
That sounds good.
Alright.
They have a Rick's Cold Brew Coffee Milk Stout. That's what I'm getting.
Mm-mm,
Or
mm-mm,
D's
too
Nuts.
heavy.
Yeah, see, we can't do a picture at,
Got 'em.
at like a brewery. They got
Are
all
we
these
doing a picture?
cool-
I thought we were going to do flights.
See,
Little-
flights
I
would
was
be.
asking if they
I'd
had
be down for
pictures.
flight.
Little things. Only little plates, little drinks. That's all I want.
Little bits.
Then why don't you come down a little bit?
Little bits.
Wait,
I'm gonna get a
Oh,
chocolate
all
milk,
right.
guys.
He
Ew. With
needs
your
some
barbecue?
milk.
Yeah, I'm getting dino. I'm doing dino
It's not
nuggets
kosher
mostly.
at all.
Dino nuggets and chocolate milk because Frank is 8 years old,
Okay,
everybody.
you know what? I'm gonna do Capri Sun instead to spite you, if you want.
You're not helping. Not helping at all. You just basically ordered a Lunchable.
Also,
Give me that pizza.
Frank, they
I
have
just wanted
like
a cardboard
handcrafted
pizza.
sodas, and you're going with
The Capri Sun.
Oh, I don't do no
Capri Sun.
carbonation. I don't mess around with no carbonation.
What?
We got Jesse saying, so Frank is an 8-year-old. And then Alex Jones says, Aperol spritz and some sloppy type of meat. That's what he would We got Justin saying, can someone get me some Cool Ranch Doritos?
no.
No.
I actually, Justin, today I tried a new flavor that's available here in Chicago. They're selling Baja Blast Mango Doritos. And they taste like exactly what they are called.
I can't say much. I had Taco Bell for dinner last night. I should say
Yeah,
anything
but-
else. Okay.
I talk about far too much. All right, I
Everybody
think
good?
we
Did the
ordered.
Where's our
did the
server?
waiter or
What the-
waitress come?
Our poor waitress. I do want to specify separate checks.
Yeah. For our shared
Oh.
plates.
Oh, that's gonna be.
I
That's
see.
gonna be
Okay.
interesting.
Frank, do we have a
Little
company
checks.
card?
You can put
Yeah, this is expense.
Yeah, we'll
right?
take it out of the Late Night
you
Legends
can
petty
put
cash.
2 of the Dino Nuggets on my tab, but the other 4 have to go on Frank's.
Thanks.
Yeah, I didn't need those.
I'm
Sitting
upset,
here with,
but I will
sitting
eat
here with
those
my
4.
pound of brisket.
Joan is laughing way too hard at the Dino Nuggets.
I'm laughing at this because this is how we would act.
It's true.
This is
Yeah,
100%.
in a restaurant, yes.
It's almost a good thing for the servers of America that we have not actually been at a restaurant together.
Like, yeah, 100%.
Okay,
Oh.
all right. Okay, here we go. Shayna slips off to tell the hostess that it's James's birthday.
Oh,
Yay!
happy birthday, James.
Thank you, guys.
That's something I would actually do IRL, for real.
Got a couple of days, but thank you.
I would do that thing where I go, "It's his birthday today. It's today." At the table, can we
Oh,
get a candle and the
It was
shared
just my-
meats?
It was just my brother's
Bravo.
birthday, and we went to this place. And usually, for your birthday, they bring out this big thing of like chocolate pie, and they didn't do anything. And I was like, "We specifically told you it was his birthday. You're not going to give him anything? Come on."
Of all people, my therapist was telling me about a bar in his town that does. You get they'll do a platter of wings for your birthday, and it's however many years old you turn. You get that many wings.
Oh, okay.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's the
sorry.
move.
So Shayna
Yes.
went and did the nice thing.
They bring out a bowl of ice cream with a lit candle and begin singing. The entire restaurant joins in, much to James's dismay, and they end the serenade with a roaring applause. James,
And I'm just sinking lower and lower into my seat. Just
Like a Reddit story.
everybody claps. James blows out his candle and eats his ice cream. Frank, the ever so hospitable show host, picks up the tab. Thanks, Frank.
Oh,
only his tab. Of
Only
the-
my tab.
of the 6-way
The
split.
group Ubers to a local bar, 7 Grand, Denver. Everyone has a few drinks, loosens up, and then has a good time getting to know each other in person. Final call
Like we
Yeah.
did at the wedding.
Final call happens just before midnight, and the group Ubers back to the hotel. Everyone says goodnight and heads to bed, planning to meet for breakfast the next morning at 8. The next morning, people start filing in one by one, most in pretty rough shape. A couple grumbles about the absurdity of scheduling breakfast at 8 ripple around the table. At 8:30, someone's presence is glaringly absent. Charlie asks where Kay is, and the group shrugs and offers little. Frank says she's
No.
probably just running late, and if she doesn't arrive in the next 15 minutes, he will go and check on her. 15 minutes comes and goes, and Frank heads to Kay's room. He knocks on her door and listens for any sign of movement from the other side. He hears nothing. He knocks again, louder and more insistent, and is again met with silence. He calls out for Kay on the next, more frantic set of knocks. Nothing. Other surrounding doors start opening, and concerned faces start popping out. Frank runs to the front desk and says his friend might be in trouble. The concierge grabs a master key and quickly follows Frank to Kay's room. Again, a set of knocks yield no answer. The concierge slides the key and shoves open the door. They look quickly around the room before Frank pulls open the ajar bathroom door and lets out a choked cry. He stumbles back. The concierge looks in and stumbles back as well, grabs the phone next to the bed, and dials 911. Police arrive and tape off the scene. They pull each team member aside and take brief statements about the previous night. When not being questioned, the group is instructed to sit silently in a nearby conference room. After each person has been questioned and the police have had a chance to talk to hotel staff, the police enter the conference room and ask Charlie to stand. They place handcuffs on him,
Oh no.
read him his rights, and take him away. An officer tells everybody else that they're free to go, but must not leave the county. So, do you want to ask the police about Charlie, or do you want to not ask the police about Charlie?
Oh, I'm gonna
I was gonna
ask.
sit there going, I
We
knew it.
ask it.
I knew it.
I'm gonna. I would say let's ask.
Knew it.
Pourquoi?
Yeah, I want to know, did they have a probable cause affidavit? Like, let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah.
How quickly did they get a judge's signature here?
Yep.
Because, like,
As HR, I would like to know what's going on.
So you go up to the police officer and you ask, and he replies, "Listen, I shouldn't be telling you this, but we found significant evidence against him. Kay's room was missing a lamp, and we found a matching one under Charlie's bed with blood on it. We're waiting for some information back from our lab, but we're pretty sure it's Kay's. Charlie is insisting it couldn't have been him, but can't provide an alibi." Oh, okay.
I can't believe this. This is
again, not surprised. Not surprised.
In fairness, all the lamps are gonna be matching. We're at a
Mhm.
hotel.
Mhm.
Unless we're at,
I
like-
think it's the fact that there's an extra lamp in the room
Yeah,
and
no,
it's
I got-
under his bed.
I got that,
We-
but I was
we
also
s-
gonna pose, can we get a clarification? We're not like at like a creepy themed hotel, right? Like the rooms are identical.
And
Is
No,
it
wait,
like, are we talking
tell
about
me
like
where are we?
Quinta, Best Western,
Last time-
liminal space?
Last time I was in a hotel, they had identical ottomans, and they also had a liquid. That
They weren't
was-
liquid. There was a white stain. Clearly, someone did something, and the cleaners were like, "Let's just bleach it." And that's what everything was. But the joke was, it looked like
yeah.
some kind of stain that only males produce. So
But so I'm guessing the police are running the test on the blood to see if the blood
Yes.
is Kay's blood. Is what I'm guessing
Mhm,
here.
well, they better be if they're arresting him.
Okay. Frank insists that the remaining group go back to the airport for their tour so he can get his totally legal money's worth, since they've already made arrangements with customer service. James, Joan, Frank, Jesse, and Shayna Uber back to the airport. Before going inside, they stop to look at the other piece of art they plan to see, Blue Mustang. Also nicknamed Lucifer.
I like how we're just like,
Right?
let's go see some
Yeah.
art. Kay's
Yeah.
dead. Let's go see some art.
Hey,
She ain't getting
you
any
know,
dinner.
I don't get to see any art, guys.
Charlie's in jail.
Charlie's in jail. We're not even being questioned at all. This is
Hope
great.
you're having fun.
Like,
Hope
we're
you're
not
having a
being
great time.
detained, like any of it.
The group gets out of the car and walks around the statue, admiring the piece. A pained grunt is heard from behind the statue, and the others run around to see James lying on the ground unconscious. Shayna runs to him and tries to wake him up, while Joan pulls out her phone to call 911. Frank leans down and picks up a piece of the statue that appears to have fallen off. An ambulance arrives, and the medics load James onto a stretcher. The doors are closed, and the ambulance speeds off. Jessie holds up a piece of paper and says she saw it fell out of James' pocket while he was being loaded into the ambulance. She asks if the group should open it. Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
so it's a newspaper, so whoever has the clue with the backpack, you can open your clue.
Back.
I think that might be me. This whole, I don't know. So it's the sticker
Yeah.
that looks like a backpack, right? Would you guys say that this looks like a backpack?
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Frank,
Mhm.
that's a backpack.
Okay. I will open.
It might be more of a knapsack. I'm not sure.
Look, it could be an astronaut's helmet for all I know. I don't
Charlie?
know.
I don't know if they'd read you your Miranda rights, but you're supposed to remain silent.
So I'm to read this newspaper. Yes? Okay. This newspaper has a headline called LNL High from the 5th of February. God, I hate that day. The 5th of February 2005. Don't ask me why. Anthem blunder. An embarrassing moment today at LNL High occurred when James, grade 11, apparently forgot all the words to the national anthem. He signed up to sing only days before the assembly, but seemed confused when he was pulled up to the microphone. When questioned after the event, James claimed that he had never signed himself up to sing. He states that someone must have signed him up as a joke. Another student, Kay, grade 11, had this to say. I feel really bad for James. This prank was seriously not okay, and I hope the culprit is brought to swift and harsh justice. School officials are actively investigating the situation and affirm that the offender will be punished. And then we've got another thing here that says recommendation that looks like it's lorem ipsum, which is just text filler, so I don't think that's relevant too.
It's a clue. It's a code. These are shift.
Somebody set James up. And James,
I'm
I'm really
right.
disappointed in you, buddy, man. You don't know the words to the national anthem? I'm gonna write that shit down right now. Writing that shit
important.
down.
But also, James holds a grudge. This is 11th grade, and he's just carrying this around with him to his trip to Colorado with his friends.
Again, also tracks.
He's stewing on that resentment the whole time.
I remember there's side story. There's a kid I went to high school with who is now trying to become a crazy conservative right-wing pundit and doing very well for himself, scarily. But he wrote this thing in the school newspaper that was about our new disciplinary policy, and to this day I still remember the exact sentence he wrote because it was the stupidest thing I had ever heard in my entire life. It is, PBIS is ostensibly a grandiose effort at placating the ubiquitous negativity that pervades the school today.
Wow.
And he
Those
just
are
got
words.
married at Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh.
Mazel.
He's got a radio show and has all the people on it.
We got a show with people on it too, James.
So this
How about
checks
that?
out.
We got a show with good
James
people
remembers.
on. I do. I remember all.
He does not
He does
forget.
not.
He's sitting on that grudge.
Frank, in regards to the article, can you tell me how the name of the student who gave the quote was spelled?
Just with a K.
Just a K. Good, got it. Cool.
Just a capital K.
Just okay.
Kay, can we confirm where you graduated
I
from?
graduated from LNL High.
So she's dead. How do we...
Get out of the
Maybe
morgue,
I just
Joan.
know these things as HR. I feel like I have that
Oh, okay,
information.
right.
You have a full file on all of
Yes,
us.
is that in...
No one gave me die. I don't have to do a perception check. Okay.
Joan's
just-
like, let me
I
add
have-
that to the dossier.
Yeah, just
I have
carry the
multiple
HR
sets of
files
dice,
with us
so-
everywhere we go.
All right. The group decides to ask James about it when they go to visit him in the hospital. They continue on to the airport. At 3 p.m., they check in with customer service and an employee comes to meet them. Joan, Frank, Jesse, and Shayna follow the employee through a series of doors labeled employees only. They come to a staircase and descend, the walls turning to thick concrete. They are led through a series of brightly lit corridors, and the number of turns becomes disorienting. Finally, they reach a door where the employee enters a code. The door clicks open, and the group enters a room containing the artwork. They walk forward and begin snapping photos. They examine the pieces and ask various questions of the employee. Jessie mentions to Frank that she likes his phone case. Joan points out that it looks different from the day before and asks when he changed it. Frank says it was broken at the bar the night before. After some time has gone by, the employee ushers the group back through the door. While the employee is locking up, the police call Joan. They ask if anyone in the group has a 555 number. The last text Kay sent was to a 555 number saying, "We need to talk." The group confirms that no one has that number. James and Charlie included. The group returns to the public area of the airport and finds a coffee shop to chat over everything that has happened. Frank mentions he needs a post-coffee break and heads off to find a bathroom. When he returns, the group talks about everything that has happened so far and begins talking about the case. Frank mentions that he isn't feeling quite right and feels that he might faint. The group calls for help as he collapses.
It is the Mile High City. Sometimes you do need oxygen. It's altitude sickness.
Sometimes they need oxygen, and I'm not even in that type of city.
Yeah. Did we bring water? More water. Okay. Good. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
A short while later, Joan, Jesse, and Shayna sit together at a table still at the airport. Police are standing nearby waiting on a call from the hospital and a call from their lab. All three have been questioned. Jesse and Shayna decided to use the bathroom as well when Frank left, and Joan stayed to watch the group's belongings, but insists nothing happened while she was watching over everything.
A likely story.
An officer's phone rings. After he hangs up, he turns towards the group and asks Joan to see her backpack. The officer shuffles through things and pulls out a nearly empty medicine bottle. Joan is asked to stand and placed under arrest. Another officer...
For the altitude sickness.
Another officer says Frank's results have come back and he was dosed with a high level of Xanax. Joan recently had a prescription filled 4 days ago for the same medication, but a 30-day supply. There are only a few pills left in her bottle. The coffee cups had also been tested, and Xanax was found in Frank's cup. Joan was the only person left at the table alone, but Joan claims she's innocent.
Clearly Joan. It's clearly Joan.
It's clearly Joan.
It does not help that I just said I had travel anxiety, honestly. I just want everyone to know that I'm so cool that I wrote in my notes on the Xanny. So.
We've got Donnell T. Rump in the chat saying, "See, I was thinking roofies."
Close.
Yeah.
No.
Jesse and Shayna decide to go to the hospital to check on Frank and James. Both are recovering well and expected to discharge the next day. Jesse and Shayna head back to the hotel and before heading off to bed get a call from the police. Charlie finally gave his alibi, which the police had confirmed. He was on his way back to the hotel for the night. The next morning, Jesse, Shayna, and Charlie meet in the lobby. Charlie comes clean and admits that he has a gambling problem and owes Kay a pretty significant amount of money. At least, he did. He'd borrowed small amounts from her over time for this and that, and it had just all added up to be too much. He had planned to pay her back soon, possibly even this trip if he was lucky. He headed off to a local casino to see how much he could earn back after everyone went to bed. He didn't want to admit it to the police or the group, so he hid it as long as he could. He had no idea how the bloody lamp ended up under his bed. He wasn't even in the hotel when the murder happened. A woman comes along as they're talking and recognizes Shayna from college. The lady asks if Shayna ever ended up going into politics. Shayna says no, she's with the podcast now. The woman asks if it has anything to do with what happened with that other girl, senior year. Her name was Kay, wasn't it? Shayna nervously laughs and says no, she just doesn't like politics. They say goodbye and the woman moves on. Shayna sheepishly turns back to the group. Charlie says he had to fess up, so now she does too. Shayna explains that senior year, she was keeping some animals in her dorm on campus.
I fucking knew it.
Kay reported her for keeping chickens, a cow, and a baby goat, and Shayna was expelled for it. She was left with student loans and no degree to help pay them off. While she'd never really forgiven Kay for what she'd done, Kay had offered to help pay back the student loans. She was just waiting on someone else to pay her back. Shayna hadn't wanted any harm to come to Kay.
If I was in the dorms, I would have actually probably done that.
I love how I just made all this stuff up and it actually fits everyone really well.
Like tracks.
It's very well.
I don't gamble at all. I'm sorry.
Charlie's
took a
like, "Let
gamble
me
when
be
you joined
clear."
this team. What are you talking about?
I
Charlie,
don't
it's okay.
gamble
This
with
is a safe
money.
space.
Let's be.
Okay.
Charlie is frustrated that the police arrested him when he was innocent and suggests they do some investigating of their own. Which room should they investigate first?
Come on, gang.
I'm in the hospital. I don't know.
I know,
Not
I'm
here.
unconscious.
This is
apparently.
Joan and Shayna. That's their call.
I'm
Well, I
in the
guess
blood
Charlie
room.
too.
I'm not here. I'm
You guys
arrested.
can all you can
Oh
all
yeah, you're
chime
arrested.
in.
Cool. I'm
Like,
voting
I
in
think
the
we should
bloody
check.
room.
for the
I think we
county.
should check my room because I think there's a good chance I also did it.
I'm just saying, Frank handed out all the keys to everybody, and the room block is under his name, so he could just ask for extra keys.
Also, I dosed myself with like a drug that's probably pretty nice to be dosed on. I guess, right? Xanax, isn't that like a party thing? Like,
Bars. Yeah.
don't people
It's
do
not
that
a
for
party,
fun?
It's
Like,
a calm down
Yeah.
drug.
I don't fucking know about drugs. Don't people do it
Mellow.
recreationally? Oh God, no! Look, I get.
popular music. Yeah.
I think they do it to calm down, though. Like Jen said.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but like bored, waspy housewives take a couple
Yeah.
extra Xannies.
You know, when I think of Frank, I think bored waspy housewife. That is what I think.
Mhm. Takes that with a glass of Pinot Grigio.
At least 2 out of 3 of those things are correct.
I will say, anyone in the chat, if there is a room that you're kind of suspicious about, please feel free to say something.
Jones is in jail because of that hat. Oh no.
Oh.
This is the height of fashion.
All right, game's over.
In Frank's
I'm just kidding.
in
Solved
Frank's
it.
room, you find a spare empty phone case. Okay, whose room next?
Mm.
Well,
I
we
guess
knew
let's-
he had a spare empty phone case because he
But he
swapped
said
the
it-
other one.
swapped
No, he
it.
said it broke at the restaurant, didn't it? So I would assume
At the
it broke
bar.
At the restaurant. Oh, at
Yeah.
the bar.
It is not.
Was
Oh,
it
I mean, I
broken?
would've
Do we know
brought
if
it
it was
back.
broken? That mother-
I mean, but I will also say he had one spare one just ready to go. I don't know anyone who travels with a spare thing, so now he's got
Yeah.
2 spares.
Someone who needs to be on Xanax.
Someone who's very, very prone to dropping his phone.
I guess.
Donnell says
Joan?
sounds like a good time.
Whose room?
You should check
Joan's
Joan's
room.
room.
Yeah, you should
An
check my room.
employee comes up and gives you the key card sheet. So whichever clue has a spyglass on it is the key card sheet.
That's me.
Oh.
That's
Oh.
me.
Oh.
Try to open this as neat as possible because my aggressive hands will not. Okay, I get to read. Okay. Sorry, I'm actually one. Key card swipes, night of murder.
Oh.
Frank. What?
No, this is interesting. Sorry, go on.
Okay.
Go
no.
on.
Okay. So, Frank room 1, confirmed case room, 1903, personal. 0021, personal. 0914, master. Frank room 2, 1903, personal. 0023,
So,
personal.
hey,
Frank room
Shayna.
3,
You can go ahead
Yes.
and work on that clue if you want to, but you don't have to read the whole thing because when we open up the
cool.
envelopes, everyone's going to have a copy of it. So everybody can kind of
okay, cool.
work on it
Oh,
themselves.
sweet. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we
If
open it?
you want to open up the envelope and find the key card swipe clue, you can do that.
Love a good time code.
While you guys are doing that,
Literally, we just did this in a Hunt a Killer like the other night. We like figure out who
Once
logged
again,
into the
not
computer. Not sponsored.
How did you put
Good
this envelope
details.
together? Gorilla glue?
No, seriously.
Adorable clue.
Horse glue? Oh wait,
poor
that's I'm not supposed to be looking at that. Not supposed to be looking at that. Somehow you get my fingerprints. Hold
Wait.
on. Okay.
whose room
Ah.
do you want to look at next?
Let's go to Charlie's room.
Well,
Nope.
do we know whose is each one? Like, whose is each room here? Because, like, I'm looking like, all right, room number 1 and
Hmm.
room number 3 seem
We don't know
very
whose room is
interesting
whose.
to
Don't know
me.
which.
We
The only
don't know
one
whose room is.
that is confirmed is my room.
There's one. Okay. Well, I would go out on a limb and say, like, room 3 is got to be Charlie's room, given the fact that if the lamp had been planted, it would have had to been planted by someone who has a master key.
I would say Charlie's room 7 because he would have come back after everything was said and done at 4:29 a.m. is what I would guess.
I want to check room 3 and 7.
Yeah, but the master. Do we know when Frank? Do we know what time Charlie returned to the room?
I don't think we went over that detail.
He just came back, everybody went
Did
to
we?
bed, and then Charlie went to the casino.
The cops somehow confirmed
They
that.
did.
Maybe some traffic cameras
Well,
or something.
Cameras
It's
at the
just-
casino.
We also
NCIS.
would have to assume that there is a 3-minute span of time in which this person comes in.
Can you remind us what time we went to dinner at?
We went to dinner. Hold on, I have the whole schedule.
7?
About 7.
Yeah, it looks like most people left around 7 the first time.
We put
Whoever's in room 2 only came in, never left again. And then, or like, there's no more key code. There's only one with 2 entries, I should say.
Well, someone left and order. Well, I guess it's only when people go
there's
in.
no
then.
key card when you leave.
So I'm.
So we
Yeah.
we went in
So, like-
around 7 o'clock. Close is when we checked into the hotel.
Okay.
And we all left at like midnight. No, we all got back in at midnight,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah.
Like 12:20, 12:30-ish.
Okay.
So then,
someone went
but
to
we
King's
have
room.
to assume here that the length of time is that basically whoever went into Kay's room, bashed her over the head with a lamp, because I'm assuming that this was the blunt force trauma injury here, then dipped out, then got into Charlie's room, planted the lamp, and got out, all within a 3-minute time span. That's
I
tight.
think-
That's a tight timeline.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to keep working on this?
Yeah,
or
and-
do you want to gather more clues and we have time for discussion at the end?
Let's get some more clues.
Let's
Okay.
do some more clues.
Whose room next?
Whose room haven't we gone to? Shayna's room?
My room, Charlie, Shayna, Jesse, and James.
Let's go to Jesse's room. Something's not.
Jesse's room.
I always had a feeling about Jessie.
She's not even here to defend herself.
Defend herself from what? Her own crimes?
What does she got to defend?
So Jessie mentioned she thought she heard knocking on the door in the middle of the night, but wasn't sure if it was real or a dream. She says she does have a junior's detective kit in her bag though, and they could dust the doorknob for prints. So the next print is a fingerprint clue.
Who's got that?
John,
Oh,
do
I
you have
do.
the
the
Sorry.
sticker.
I'm
knew it
sorry. I have the sticker. No. I was starring stuff.
Just I got Denal
It-
T. Rump saying they can't fully commit to the handshake. Okay.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. I got, as HR, this is why I have these. Don't ask. I have all these fingy printies. This one's real big. Shayna, don't know what's going on there. Not gonna question it.
Listen.
Shayna, you got some big sausages, man.
Just the
That's
one?
about how I would do fingerprints.
There is. Okay, I'm not sure.
Yes,
There is.
so
this.
that is a small. That's what you take off the doorknob. So the police have taken everybody's
Gotcha.
fingerprints, and that little piece is what we found with Jesse's detective kit on the doorknob. So there's a little piece that you can fit to the fingerprints, and then that same piece blown up so you can see it in better detail.
I think it's mine. I think it's mine.
Liz,
Third from the
it's your
left.
first one.
Oh, my first one?
I believe so. No, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no.
Unfortunately, my clue came to a little
no.
crumpled.
Hilariously, I
Like the
did this
one-
in high school. I did a forensics class in high school.
It only look. I'm the only person that
Oh,
I think
wait,
has
not
fingerprints.
His,
that
not
are-
his first one. I think it's Frank's third one.
That's what I was saying. I think it's my third.
So like Frank
fourth.
has arches.
Yeah.
And everyone else seems to
So
have
I was
more
knocking on
quarrels.
Jesse's room because I knew something was going on. I think that's me.
Kinda looks like mine.
Jesse's door.
Oh, my.
Okay, we have Shayna, James, and Kay and Charlie.
Does Shayna have only 4 fingers?
She might.
Is that what I'm supposed to infer?
She's got one
Like-
really big.
Like I have like a plum for a thumb.
She
That's what's going
she
on
was
with that
having fun. She put her big toe on that fourth.
one.
She was having some fun with it. She's like, "Here
James
you
is
go,
like,
cops."
I'm into this. Good for you, James.
All right, who do we want to investigate next?
I'm like firmly matching.
Shayna, we're gonna check out Shayna's room. I want to go check out
In
Shayna's room.
Shayna's room, you find a printed out photo from when the group arrived at the airport. Kay's face is torn out.
Oh shit!
Well, damn.
Damn, Shayna.
Okay. Let's not in here. Okay.
Damn, Daniel.
Let's go to your room, Kay. Can we go to your room next?
You can't go in there. The police have it taped off. But when you get to the room, a police officer hands over an autopsy report. So whoever has the gingerbread man clue.
I think that's James.
Ooh, that's me.
Yay!
All right. Okay. Blunt force trauma. Called it. Back of the head, matching lamp entered into evidence. No fluid found in the lungs, so she didn't drown. Time of death estimated between 0100 and 0300 on May 4th. Interesting, because then that doesn't line up with key cards. Okay, blunt force trauma. 26. You are not 6'4".
I'm gonna say she's tall.
6'4", she tall girl.
Yeah, and like 408 seems a bit on the heavier side than I would assume for your stature.
Would that be grams?
No. I just
Kilograms?
wrote stuff in there.
Stones?
I was gonna say if it's 408 grams.
Oh.
I was like,
Should
Blood
we not be
type
paying
E.
attention to this? Should we not assume it's not you?
The blood type is E positive.
Yes,
Oh,
we
it's
found a
like
bunch of
blonde
hair,
blood
blue eyes.
weights.
I'd like to talk to you about your liver mortis.
Though,
You have Dr. Pepper as a blood type?
Yeah.
Am I reading this right?
No, it's contents in blood.
do you live at the Lizzie Borden
You
house?
do,
Is that
yeah.
what's going on here?
I wasn't sure if anyone was gonna catch that.
I caught that
have Lizzie
immediately.
Borden's address memorized.
this text
I
didn't
I don't
ask
have
her.
Okay,
those ones.
okay.
I don't have the
James-
street, but I know
James
Fall
did it.
River. I listen.
I like your Michigan area code. I just checked that too, just to double. Okay.
Double check. Sex
I love the
frequently.
pathologist name.
Oh.
So
Periwinkle.
we will have to post pictures of these on the Instagram so people
Yes,
understand why we're just
absolutely.
laughing to ourselves. Anyway, I will read really quickly. It says blunt force trauma to the back of the head, matching lamp. We said that. No fluid found. You said to say that. So okay.
I read it, Joan.
I was laughing at other things. I missed
Did you
it.
read the race ET? Did we get that one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Contents of her blood, Dr. Pepper.
E plus is the
Between-
blood type.
Between 9 and 3? No, 1.
No, between
Sorry.
3
1
and 4.
3. Okay.
1 and 3.
fine. So
You match that up with
Yeah.
keycard swipes. We can already identify that the killer is not in room 3 or room 7, which I think room 7 is Charlie, which would make sense.
Not necessarily, because I guess it's like people had to. So
there's
You-
4, 5, and 6 that have key cards that left between
at the time
1
of
in
death.
the morning. Yeah, at the time of death.
Right. So I'm thinking. So I'm
Frank-
thinking at 2. If you look at room 7, I think that's Charlie, because whoever the killer is planted the lamp under his bed at 211, and then he
Mhm.
himself returned back to the room at 429. I'm
but
guessing
it
that's
means
Charlie.
that someone had to have gotten Charlie's card while he was out at the
That's
casino
true.
and then returned it to him.
That is true.
So, going by that logic as well, Oh no, you're right. Okay, never mind. I lied. Don't listen to me. I did also once again get distracted because under sex it says sometimes for K, and that made me giggle really hard.
Oh, mine says frequently.
Mine says
Mine
never.
says-
so
Mine says didn't ask her.
Mine just says F.
These are faulty reports. They don't say the same thing.
I had a little bit of fun with them.
Who is this? Who's this coroner?
That's actually Periwinkle.
Dr.
Periwinkle
Periwinkle? I don't
is my
trust
dog.
that.
Dr. Periwinkle.
Oh.
Okay, we've done that. We have
Sorry.
Charlie
Now these
and James.
Let's check out James's room, I would
Okay,
say.
let's do James.
James.
Mhm.
The group searches around and finds a bloody washcloth in the dresser with a couple of hairs in it that look to match Kay's hair.
Mm.
Ew.
Trophy.
Ooh.
Actually, we're not supposed to call them trophies anymore. They're souvenirs.
Okay.
Paul Holes has a whole thing, and if you guys like true crime, you know who Paul Holes is. He has a
Yeah.
whole thing. They are souvenirs, not trophies, because
Got
you
it.
don't want the murderer to believe that he has won anything. So souvenirs because they took a little something.
Makes sense.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
It's like a participation
Okay,
trophy.
so the last room is Charlie's,
Okay.
and he points out that the bloody lamp was already found in his room under the bed. So you don't find anything else, but while you are searching, the TV, somebody turns the TV on, and it's the news. And it says, breaking news at 11, 2 large artifacts have been stolen from the Denver International Airport. The paintings titled... Oh my gosh, I forgot the painting's name. Those paintings had previously been moved into storage due to construction in the area. The art was placed in a location only accessible by employees, police say. More information after the break. Police arrive.
And us.
Police arrive to escort the group to the police station for questioning. When they arrive, Frank and James are there, discharged from the hospital. Frank says he needs to check in with an officer and leaves the group. James looks down and notices a piece of paper sticking out of the backpack Frank had sent down. He notices it is Frank's discharge sheet. James mentions that he went to visit Frank last night before he went to bed, but Frank wasn't in his room. Should the group open the paper?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if you
Yes.
say no? You just
Yeah.
have one less clue?
So whoever has the stethoscope clue can open their clue. Charlie!
Ah!
We all say no, and Charlie
Nathaniel.
just gets to stare at it.
All right, discharge summary. Patient Francis Nathaniel Furter. Frank Furter. Nice. Born January 1st, 1952.
Oh,
That's the year my dad was
Oh
born.
my god. Okay.
Nice.
Reason for admission: excessive Xanax ingestion, fainting, examination of airway, multiple dose activated charcoal, initial dosage 75 grams. Okay, it's the whole, it's everything. Patient's condition at discharge. At discharge, the patient's condition was stable, mild, intermittent stomach discomfort was reported, but significantly improved compared to admission. The patient was ambulatory and independent in performing activities of daily living. Vital signs were in normal range. Medications: continue all prescribed medications without interruption unless advised by a doctor. Consume only thin liquids for 24 hours post-discharge. Solids may be consumed as tolerated. Self-monitor for complications. Yeah. Yep.
Clem.
There you go.
Wheezing. Yep. Only Capri Suns for Frank now.
No more Dino Nuggies.
Y'all spiked my chocolate
No
milk.
dino nuggets.
No, chocolate milk's too thick. You cannot have that.
We got Donnell T. Rump has a comment that says Frank has a history of sausage death in his family. It's actually true. I had an uncle. A really quick side story. I had an uncle that he decided to go to the deli, and he had a kielbasa, like just a big link, and he was like
Yep.
eating it in the car, and he fucking crashed into
As
a
you
phone
do.
pole, and then like they found him with like the kielbasa like mid chew. Yeah,
No.
that's a real story.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
No.
It makes me feel different about the kielbasa I ate at your wedding. I'm sorry that it was
I only
so
had one
dramatic.
piece. Was it good?
Yeah,
It was good.
It
It
was-
was tasty.
it wasn't
Good.
worth dying for, but yeah, it was pretty good.
I heard the pierogies were bad, but we'll talk later.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
well, after Frank
sorry.
is done talking with the police, an officer comes out and tells the group that they need to divert all resources to finding who stole the artwork and hand over the rest of the evidence they have. The group sits down to go over everything. So now you can open everything in your packet, and we're going to discuss, and we're going to figure out who killed me.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Do
Okay.
we want to go through and read the initial statements, but like as
Yes.
ourselves, and then if someone wants to cover Jesse as well,
Mhm.
I can cover. Oh, okay, that'd be better. Thank you.
So we're reading our own parts, but you're gonna read for somebody's gonna read for Jesse.
Yeah, Kay's gonna read.
Okay.
So initial statements. Joan talked to the victim last night at the bar. Revealed that she has been stealing money from her company after she had one too many drinks. Believes she went back to her room and slept it off, but doesn't remember.
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
I will read
I
for
was getting
Jesse.
into it.
Jesse.
You got it.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. I can do it. Saw Joan going into victim's room after the group returned from the bar while she was going to get ice. Doesn't know how long Joan stayed in victim's room. Did not think anything suspicious until murder was revealed.
Went to bed after the bar, stayed in his room till morning, had planned to confront victim on the trip about a prank from high school, but never meant any harm.
I think the bad part is there's no timestamps with any of these statements. I talked to the victim privately at the bar about a personal matter. He's unfortunately involved in a lawsuit and needed to borrow some money. Victim said that she would text him about it later.
Wait, are we learning that Kay's loaded because everybody's going to her for money?
We all have a motive to kill her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that I'm that
Pinpoint.
555 number actually, because
Oh,
might be
spare
a
phone.
spare phone case for a
Got the
spare
multiple
phone,
phones.
and the other phone might have that 555 number.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, don't you talk about? Don't you have a
Yeah,
work phone?
everybody-
Didn't you
I
have
do.
a work phone
Everybody
at
does.
one point?
Yeah, everybody that's not a
No.
drug dealer.
I work in a restaurant. Why
Yeah,
would I need a work
I-
phone?
Oh, that's true. So I in real life, if you work with like customers or clients that need to call you after hours, they have like a work number. So that is a thing. Yeah.
Sometimes. I have made many an international phone call for my personal cell because
That's
I
cool.
had to.
All right, who's next?
Anyway,
Charlie.
Yeah,
initially
no, it wasn't.
denies
Anyway.
any involvement with the victim, but later admits that he has a gambling problem and owes the victim money, intended to pay it back all on the trip.
And I went to bed immediately after getting back to the hotel. Did not leave the room until breakfast.
Okay. So
I did it. I can't prove it. I think I did it though.
I think we all think we did it. Maybe not Shayna, but I feel like I did it too.
I kind of still feel like Jesse did it though. I don't know. Don't ask me why.
Okay, so, but here's the thing that I'm looking at my initial statement. I knew that Kay was stealing money, so she's not really loaded, guys. Calm down. I believe I went back to Kay's room and slept it off, but I don't remember. So where did I wake up?
In your room.
I woke up in my room. So at some point, I went back to my room probably at a later time.
Oh, so you did do it.
I think you're room 6, Joan, because I think you might have went back at 217.
Okay, and then that would Jesse saw me going into the victim's room. So it's confirmed I did go into Kay's room because someone saw me do it, whether I remember or not. Did not think anything suspicious until the murder was revealed. So just tracking people's actions. I went into the room. If I woke up in my room, I had to leave at a later time than everybody else. So, okay, so you think I'm 6, Frank?
I think you may be 6.
Okay.
But I think I also may be 6 too.
Since we are at 8:16, how much do you want me to help you guys?
Does anybody
Was it
actually
in
want to
your
go to bed
time?
in real
I was
life?
like, that's not. I was like, what time is it? What?
It says it is 11:16 over here.
I know. It's like it's not 8:16. What are you talking about? Okay. Can you
So-
give us like 5 more
Yes.
minutes or 10 more minutes. 10 or 5, guys.
Let's do
5.
10. Oh,
Let's do
okay.
Let's
do 5. We'll do 5.
5.
7 minutes.
7. Break even. 7. You're right.
All
Okay,
right.
7 minutes.
Well, okay. So, if I just went back to my room and fell asleep, how did the bloody hair get there? How did the piece of the scalp show up? So, like, my room had to have been, I guess, a 3. Charlie's room, like, the amount of entrances need to be higher than just arriving and coming back from dinner. So, who do we know that just went
which
to
room
bed?
do we think is Charlie's room? Because the master key, I'm assuming, is from the hotel itself. So wouldn't number 3 have to be Charlie's room?
Did someone let Charlie back in?
Yeah, somebody would have had to let Charlie back in when he came back from the casino, so I don't think that would be it.
So who else's room got into with someone's key, like with the hotel key?
Just Kay's room and
Well-
room 3.
What's also interesting is that it's always after someone has already, entered or exited. So, like, if we know that she was killed between 1 and 3, then in Kay's room, someone had to have gone into the room with her. And, like, the only way that the killer could have gotten in is if you let the killer in. Like, Kay either had to have let the killer in herself, or you let the killer in when you were leaving. Because clearly the 914 master is when everyone found her in the morning, and the 0917 is the morning, so that's the hotel doing that. So we can outright do those. So if the first 2 are dinner and then the person entering, when did the person who killed Kay enter the room? It had to have been, there's got to be no, unless Joan, you did it, there is no actual card swipe to let the killer in.
Right, because Jesse saw Joan come into my room, but there's no key card swipe. So Joan knocked on my door. I let her in. Somebody else could have knocked on my door. Or it could be Joan.
Mm-hmm. But what we look then at is who then was entering back into their rooms. So we've got room 4 is
7.
not going to be room 4 and 5 and 6, 7 are all people who entered their room again after the death may have happened. Though I'm going to say that the people who were in at 103 and 107 are less likely to have committed it, because I don't think that that's enough time to commit the murder and go. But then we've got the 2 different people are being planted now. So I'm thinking I'm room 6, that Charlie is room 7. So either I did it and I came back to my room with the bloody thing, but that is... Yeah, and then my timestamp is after the 2:11 of Charlie's.
Can you remind us when you texted the 555 number? What time was that at? Because I also remember Frank was going and knocking on doors in the middle of the night. And he might have gotten confused which room was Jesse's and which rooms was Kay's.
So I would have sent that text after 1 o'clock, a little bit after 1 o'clock.
Okay.
I think we could rule out room 4 and 5, if that's true. So I don't know who's in 4 or 5. I'm guessing Shayna and Jesse. That's just my guess, though.
Well,
I would not count Shayna completely out yet.
I don't know. Shayna's keeping those fucking animals.
Not Shayna, sorry,
her
Jesse.
dorm
I
is
wouldn't count Jesse out yet. It's really suspicious that Jesse seems to know where everyone is. At that
Also, Jessie seems like the type of person, based on her comment earlier, of like, did anybody look into the artwork? She knows about the art. She would know the value. And then if the artwork went missing, I think that also could have been Jesse, based on that detail. Possibly.
But also, Frank was paying for everything. Like, he paid for our rooms, he paid for our thing, and then went to Kay for money.
Yeah, I'm a real scumbag like that. I'm like, I'll pick up dinner, but let me borrow a bunch of money.
But, like, you whatever reason to want to get more money after this trip, and you paid someone off for the tour as well.
I think somebody in room 3 must have paid off a hotel staff member to have entered back into the room with a master key. Because I don't think a
No,
hotel.
because the 2 master keys were at 9 a.m. The 2 master keys are
Okay, so
are
that's when they
when
were
you-
discovering the bodies. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
But
So
that's what I'm
master
saying,
keys
I-
are out.
I thought room 3 was Charlie because they went into his room to find the lamp.
But I would have come home after, or back to the hotel after everything. So there would be something between midnight and 9 a.m. presumably.
And here's
Well,
here's
that's
my
also go ahead.
well. So we know we have 2 blood evidence. We've got the lamp and we've got the bloody scalp. When could those have reasonably entered a room? So you've got the 211 and then followed by the 429. So that to me is Charlie's room. That the 211 is the planting of the lamp.
Yes.
429 is when he comes home.
Yes.
And then I would say that room 6 is mine, and that the 217 is me returning to there with the rag and everything.
I'm with you,
And the
James.
thing is, the 217
I wrote that down.
is 217 is after the 211. So the process would be
You
planted the lamp and went back to my room.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think what happened maybe is that Joan went into Kay's room and blacked out and was just kind of passed out, and then you went in there, committed the murder, got Joan back to her room, and then went back and planted everything.
Frank.
I think that's pretty solid.
No,
Or
I
James,
think
whoever
Joan
took me
went.
back.
I think Joan, you made it back yourself. To be honest,
Okay.
Oh, because you wouldn't help me? Thanks.
no, because
Okay.
there's no other. Because there's no other. You wouldn't have been in the room when the murder occurred because there's no other 2 o'clock timestamp. So what I'm thinking is I snuck in when Joan you left.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
grab the door.
That's like you left, and that's which would be around. I'm assuming your room is going to be either 4 or 5. So
Okay.
that 103 or 107 is you returning to your room, and that's when I entered
Okay.
Kay's room.
James, you've convinced me. I think you're the murderer.
Yep. I was following that logic except for that last part about guessing which room was yours, Joan, but I was with James the entire time. I wrote it down. I showed you guys.
Yeah.
I wrote it down my same conclusion based on the same facts.
Did you show your work?
I did. My work is right here.
We're,
Never sure.
There it is.
You're not getting a score if you didn't show your work.
It's right there. There it is.
Hey, what do the people in the Discord say? Anyone
I
agree?
don't show anybody
that
in
Frank
YouTuber.
has a history of sausage death in his family.
Yeah, that was-
That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
nobody-
that's the last one. Great.
Yeah.
So, do you guys want to lock in your
Okay.
answer, or do you want to keep going?
I'm locking it in.
I'm locking in.
So we're locking
And
it
it
in.
was
We're locking
James?
it.
It was James.
With the lamp in the hotel room.
In the hotel room.
It was not James.
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck.
It was
Okay.
me. I did it somehow.
It was Jesse. I know it was Jesse.
It's
Do
probably
you guys
Jesse.
want to go through the rooms? Okay.
Yes.
Room number 1 is Kay's room. We know that. Room number 2
Yeah.
is Shayna.
Okay.
Room number 3
Mhm.
is James.
Okay.
Room number
Interesting.
4 is Joan.
Okay.
Number 5
Mhm,
is
mhm.
Jesse. Number 6 is Frank. And number 7 is Charlie.
Mhm. Okay, so then it was Frank. Same logic, but with
At
the
least
right
we got
rooms.
Charlie right.
Frank did
New
it.
answer?
Franklin.
I think it's Frank.
I already did
I don't
one,
know.
so
I'm
I
I'm
going
know
not
how
Jesse.
you're feeling
locking
about
it in.
Jesse for some reason.
I'm going Jesse. I don't give a fuck.
Just go
Okay,
for it.
final answer. It was Frank.
Oh, you were my second bet.
Frank did it.
Because I was
Of
over here
course.
like doing the whole fingertip thing, and I was somehow convinced myself that I did it.
Oh my gosh!
Based
I
on
totally,
your
I
big toe?
forgot about the fingerprints too. That's
Yeah,
so
I was like
stupid.
sitting here comparing the fingerprints for the past like 4 minutes, and I
So-
was like,
So,
Yeah. How did
Yes.
Frank do it? How did
okay,
he do
so
it?
something that you guys didn't quite catch is on the autopsy report, take a look at the. Oh wait, not the autopsy. Goodness gracious, his discharge.
discharge.
What time did he get discharged?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I
yeah,
was gonna say it was like 10:43 at night or
Mhm.
something.
And he
so.
said
11:43.
that he got
10:43.
discharged
10:43.
when everybody met at the police station. So, what was Frank doing? We don't know.
Frankie,
Okay.
what were you doing?
He was trying to steal
So-
that art.
I was
What
stealing art.
happened? We go through the rooms. So with my room, there's me checking in to the hotel, getting home from the bar, and then 9:14 is the master key card swipe when Frank ran to the front desk and the guy from the hotel swiped the master key. In all of the mayhem, Frank steals the master key and swipes it on James's room and Charlie's room, or just James's room, to do the plant.
Mm-hmm.
Frank also planted the lamp in the middle of the night in Charlie's room while Charlie was gone, because he went
But how did
he
have a
went to the
personal
front
key?
desk and told the front desk he
'Cause
lost
he
his
had this-
key
Which is what
Mhm.
Joan said. She was
Scumbag.
right.
and got Charlie's
Mhm,
personal
mhm.
key. Because all of the rooms are under
Oh.
Frank's name.
Mm-hmm.
Shayna just got home and went to bed. James was a plant. Joan, you came to visit me and then went back to your room at 103.
Oh, cool.
Jessie went out and saw you while she was getting ice and went back to her room after she got ice. It took her a long time. She had to look around a whole bunch of floors for an ice machine, so it took her a little bit to get back.
Sometimes with those places it happens. I don't blame her.
Mm-hmm.
Frank checked back into his room at 217 after he murdered me.
I was knocking on that door really obnoxiously too. That's how you could
Mhm.
tell.
Yep.
Well, that was probably to create an alibi because you're like, see,
Yeah.
someone saw me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Throw you off the scent. I was you said that we missed on the discharge the clue here, and I was actually staring at this for at least 5 minutes. We have this clue, but I don't know what to get from this paper. I missed it straight
Mhm.
up.
I thought about it and I was like, I missed what time we're at right now, so I'm not gonna ask.
I got the
Same.
days confused. I forgot about the
nap.
art thief. The art
Yeah.
thief.
Yep. Frank also stole the art.
Yeah, the art heist subplot
Wow.
was.
I have a degree in art, so that makes
That's what
sense.
he was doing when he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
discharged from the hospital late at night. And that's why he has a burner phone.
Mm.
Because
And that's why he was insistent that we take that
Yes.
stupid tour, even though we were mourning our friend's
yeah,
death.
because he
He's
he
getting
had
his
an
money's worth.
agreement with the mafia or something. He had a buyer.
he had to
He
to
did.
scope it out.
He had an agreement with the Illuminati to view the art.
I took the underground
Look at the secret
catacombs out of the airport.
tunnels. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Carmen Sandiego stole the Golden Gate Bridge or whatever.
Oh yeah, she used to do shit
Oh my
like that.
God.
She's like, "What
Where
happened to
in
the Statue of
time-
Liberty?"
Who played Where in Time as Carmen Sandiego as a kid? Because that game was amazing.
It was like
When
one of my very
in
first
time
computer
is Carmen
games with a
Sandiego.
CD-ROM.
Oh yeah, when you had to do the lamps in
Yeah.
in Japan.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
so good.
I remember loading it up and then using Netscape
We're on
Navigator to
the
access the
chase
game.
and racing through history.
I'm gonna see if someone has put a web-based version of it.
One of the first computer games I remember is playing Sonic R, on PC.
That was 3 years ago.
No,
I'm
that was.
just kidding.
Ooh.
What was the first game you guys remember playing? I remember my first game that I remember on a PC playing was Doom. That was the first game that I remember that I played personally.
My
Yeah,
mom.
I,
It's like Putt-Putt.
Oh, Puppo was
the
great.
first
yeah.
game I ever
Puppo was-
had was Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow.
I remember
But
they
those
had.
was Red and Blue.
I remember Duke Nukem. I remember there was a Lemmings game where you kill lemmings.
Oh, Lemmings was good.
Yeah.
Also, Gadgets and Gears. Gizmos and Gears.
Gizmos and
Yeah.
Gadgets.
Gizmos and Gadgets?
Gizmos
Yeah.
and Gadgets. That's a
Ooh,
good
yeah.
one.
So my
Love that
mom,
one.
Detective,
my
like
mom ran
real-
a daycare, and her friend worked at the learning company in San Francisco. So we got all these sample
Ooh.
games, got all the Rita Rabbits, all the Carmen Sandiegos,
Ooh.
everything. Was so
Nice.
good.
That's the hookup right
Maisie-
there.
That's the hookup.
Maisie's
fun.
Math House, Stanley's Sticker Stories,
Did you
all
ever-
of those.
Do you guys remember Jazz Jackrabbit 2?
Jazz.
I don't remember
Oh,
the first
that
either.
game.
If you're gonna
Hey, what
ask.
was your
like,
first computer
Has
game, if you
anybody
had one?
played Freddy Fish?
Yes. Yes.
It's another one of those humongous point and click games. They're so good.
Yeah.
Spy Fox. You ever play Spy Fox? I still
No,
get
but
down
who
on Spy
played-
Fox to this day.
Who played Oregon
Yes.
Trail on an
Yes.
Oh
Apple
my
IIe?
God.
No,
Day.
on
Yes.
an Apple
Oh, no,
IIe,
Apple, no.
Apple IIe with the true ass floppy disk. Because I did.
Who played
I did it in elementary school.
Who played Dinosaur Tycoon is what I want to know.
Yes, hell yes, that game was amazing.
I remember when I was like in middle school, and if we got done with our work early, they would let us play in the corner on the one computer in the class, Dinosaur Tycoon, and you couldn't beat that fucking game. That game.
Mhm.
I remember
it was
the
rigged.
excitement of like everybody in the class lining up to walk down to the computer lab, you know, because computers in the classroom
yeah.
weren't a thing.
Who did anyone do Type to Learn?
Types to learn.
Oh yeah.
But
No, I didn't
also,
do that.
Yeah.
Oregon
Oh
Trail.
yeah.
Oh my
Oregon Trail
God,
was the
the-
best, and you'd work so hard
Mhm.
for like weeks because you
Oregon
know
Trail.
you,
And you would just
yeah,
die of
you've died
consumption.
of dysentery.
Die of dysentery.
Dysentery.
My-
Mhm. Someone broke an ankle.
When I was in
That's
7th
it.
grade, I had a social studies teacher named Mrs. Breslin, right? And for social studies, we went down to the computer lab as a class because she wanted to show us how the internet works and how you could do research. So the idea was we were going to go to the White House's website when we got to the computer lab. So we all sat down. She's like, all right, guys, let's start getting in. And people are like, all right, I'm going to go to the White House website. So a bunch of the students went to whitehouse.com instead of whitehouse.gov.
Wow.
Whitehouse.com was a porn site, and porn suddenly went on everybody's screen, and
Mhm.
Mrs. Breslin, almost had a meltdown, and she was given a stern talking to.
Poo-poo on your
Mhm.
computer science teacher who did not have locks on that
Well,
specifically.
I think
I mean, it was the
before days-
90s.
It was, well, for me, that was 98, and I believe
Yeah.
it was before they thought there'd be a risk of going to like content like that. There were no real like filters or like, it was just open internet. It was
That
the Wild
shit
West.
did not. It was 100% the Wild West.
I remember getting a talking to in a computer class about do not click pop-ups.
Mhm.
Now I'm just like, now
Don't
the only
believe
time
everything
I'm
you read
worried-
on the internet.
Yeah.
I
So,
remember.
like, when I was in elementary school, my computer class was told by this really old guy, but he was so cool because he showed us like how computers work and like took a full computer apart. It was like, this is what the RAM is, this is what the CPU is, this is how this works, you know. And that's but other than that, I don't remember anything about this class in like 3rd grade.
I had a Java class with no computers where we just wrote out the code
Oh, I'm sorry.
in
James.
notebooks.
That's horrible.
My college class was like that when I had to do that, and I was not having a good time. That made me switch from computer science to graphic design.
We had to do a website. I remember I took a class on, they called it desktop publishing, but we made websites on Microsoft's front page. And part of that lesson was make a website using HTML that you write out on a piece of paper, and then after you write it out, the test will be, we'll put it in the computer together with the teacher and see if it'll actually do something.
Generate. Yep.
Oh man, those were the days. My first website was on Front Page. That was a long time ago. I
Mhm.
still remember I wanted to buy Front Page from Best Buy, and they had it in this huge box, just enormous fucking box. It was like $400. Like, who's gonna buy that? Ugh. Oh, guys. Well, this has been very nostalgic. If you guys want to hang out after, we can talk, but I think we gotta cut these listeners go. What do you think?
Probably.
Should we have final
I
thoughts?
think so.
Yeah.
Who wants to go
I-
first?
my
on
final thought-
Yep.
My final thought is I still think I did it. I still think I did it.
Yeah, you were in on it.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
My thought is, I think I have 4 fingers on one hand. I'm still very.
You have a
convinced.
big. You just put your big toe on the.
We're
Yeah,
learning a
just
lot
a
about ourselves. My final thought is I think I have survivor's guilt and that I should have stopped this from happening, especially as
No.
HR, but also because I was in the room.
You've traumatized Joan.
Charlie K, what you guys got?
I really thought this was going to be more like Scooby-Doo, you know, more hijinks and less.
I'm sorry, did
you
I
know,
not
murder.
say zoinks enough for you? My bad.
Like, come on, gang, let's split up. I'll go with Velma.
I'm just gonna go over here with Velma and Daphne to this room. You guys, you and Scooby, just look around.
Thinkies.
100%.
My final thought is, Joan, I need to talk to HR because Frank killed me and then put me in the bathtub.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is.
I gave her the old Bob Saget.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. It's too soon. I love Bob Saget. I was actually watching a documentary
you?
on how.
Do you love Bob Saget?
Well, I mean, not for some of the things he
Think
did.
about that statement you made. Like,
Well,
really
hold
think
on.
about it.
Hold on. I still think that due to his early career work, he's a national treasure. That's my standpoint. I don't judge him based on the things he did later in life. He was not a role model, but I was watching a documentary about how his death is probably a conspiracy, but we'll talk about that a different day. Anyway, yeah, he got fucking bashed in the back of the head. He had head trauma, and then whoever killed him threw him in his bed. And like, there's no way that you
bashed
could.
a head very recently.
Huh?
You.
Frank.
You did, Frank.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
final thought. I think I could say this confidently that if I had to murder a member of this team, Kay would not be the first pick.
Thanks.
So I'll say that.
Oh.
Why did you say that?
That's very
Kay would probably
reassuring.
be
We
my last
all
pick.
know we all know who the first pick would be, Joan.
If he kills HR, he
That's
can get away with
true.
anything.
HR tried to fire me that one time. I don't forget. I don't forget that episode. I never forgot. James, did you know about that prank that we did? Okay, good. As long as you knew. Anyway, hope you guys had a great time. If you like this show, please let us know in the comments that you liked it. If you actually also had guesses to who the killer was and why, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear some theories. And again, if you like this, let us know. We'll do it again. I think it'd be a good thing to do again. And yeah, we'll just see how y'all like this. And if you like it, we can definitely do it again. But outside of that, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you for the audience engagement from Justin, Donnell T. Rump, and Lord Cronus when he was in here. Appreciate it, fellas. And we'll see y'all next week when we're going to be talking about the Batman, right? It was a Batman.
No, we're doing James' topic next. He hasn't picked what it is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. James, we're doing your topic next.
You keep saying me, and I'm like,
Well, fix it in post.
Don't do it. I'm not doing it.
We're going to fix it in post. All right, guys, have a good night. See you later.
Okay, bye.
They
Night. Bye.
Bye.